If you follow news about animal abuse online, then you are probably familiar with the lawsuit brought by LadyFreethinker, which is a nonprofit organization against Google, specifically against YouTube. A quick heads up before I get going. The next slide is going to have a graphic written description of some extreme abuse. If that's not something you're in a space for, you might want to scrub ahead about 15 to 20 seconds. All right, I don't want to dwell too much on the content here. It is a young macaque, not much out of babyhood, who has been subjected to a series of increasing levels of torment, and then still alive is tied down to the ground and then set on fire. One of the more horrifying aspects of this is that it was on a public Facebook group for about 2 weeks before it was finally taken down. And it is also a video that periodically continues to show up, so people record it or they do a screen grab and then they repost it. Now, in a previous video, I explained that this kind of thing is illegal. Not just the act of torturing the animals, but also the act of disseminating these videos, specifically if it's going to be for the purpose of selling, which is ultimately what a lot of these people end up doing on Facebook. The videos qualify as animal crushing videos, which sounds like it's a specific act, but the term crushing actually refers to any kind of severe extreme abuse like suffocating or drowning or burning. The most recent animal cruelty law, which was passed in 2019, made these videos a federal offense. And so it was these types of videos specifically that LadyFreethinker was going after when they sued YouTube. So the suit was filed in 2019 and it made its way through the system and it finally got a hearing, and ultimately LadyFreethinker loses this case. Essentially, the judge ruled that Section 230 of the United States Communication Decency Act, written in 1996, is the reason why YouTube cannot be held liable for the content that its users post. To have 230 in place is actually a really good and important thing, particularly for the protection of marginalized voices like the BIPOC or the LGBTQ community online. It is very, very important to protect those whose speech will most likely come under attack. And protecting the platforms from liability is one way to do that. There are limitations to this. So things that are federal offenses, like sex trafficking, are not protected by Section 230. And I don't want to get too bogged down in mind-numbingly boring legalese, but essentially what happened is that the judge was interpreting LadyFreethinker's charges brought against YouTube as state and local complaints, for example, breach of contract. So there is a bill in Congress right now. It is Senate Bill 797. It is a bipartisan bill that seeks to amend Section 230, not repeal it. And what it wants to do is essentially hold social media platforms accountable for content that is illegal. And it will also require social media platforms to report on their policies for how they handle reporting content and what the analytics of that process is. One of the things that the monkey hate community really loves to trot out is this idea that no one ever gets prosecuted for uploading videos of animal torture. And that's false. It happens with some degree of frequency, including internationally. But those cases are almost always of individuals being prosecuted for uploading content rather than the social media platform itself. So in this case, some bozo abused his puppy and then was dumb enough to upload a video of himself doing it. And that's not the same thing as Section 230, which is about the accountability of the social media platform itself in hosting content that is clearly illegal. So if this is an important issue for you, then I urge you, if you live in the United States, I urge you to contact your local congresspeople and have a discussion with them about Section 230 and ways to revise that.